Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something kind of wild. This hidden world inside of you that literally affects everything from how you feel to how well you fight off a cold. Yep, we're talking about your gut. And the best part, we're going to do it by talking about some seriously delicious food. So let's just jump right in with a big question. What if I told you the key to your overall wellness, the real secret, isn't some complicated routine, but it's actually hiding right inside your own gut? It sounds kind of crazy, right? But the science is pointing to a massive yes. Okay, so this is going to be our roadmap for today. This awesome visual guide lays out 22 foods that are basically like superchargers for your digestive system. And yeah, I get it. Looking at all of them at once can feel a little overwhelming, but don't worry. That's exactly why we're here. We're going to break it all down in a really simple, easy to understand way. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll lay the foundation, why this stuff even matters. Then we'll get into the fun part, meeting the fermented powerhouses and the fiber-fueled friends. We'll also touch on the soothing supporters, and then we'll wrap it all up with how you can actually build your plate. Sound good? Let's do it. All right, first things first, the foundation. What are we even talking about when we say gut health? Well, picture this. Inside you right now, there are trillions, and I mean trillions with a T, of tiny little microorganisms just hanging out. This massive community is called your gut microbiome, and you can almost think of it as like a second brain for your body. It's that important. So, where do all these foods come into play? Well, their main job is to help keep that community of bacteria happy and balanced. I love this analogy. Think of it like you're a gardener for your gut. You want to plant the good stuff and make sure all the good guys get everything they need to really thrive. Okay, now for our first group of superstars. Let's talk about the fermented powerhouses. These guys are your probiotic all-stars. Think of them as the cavalry, the reinforcements you can send in to help your gut's frontline defenses. The magic that makes these foods so special is this process called fermentation. It's basically where good microbes get to work breaking down the food. And in the process, two amazing things happen. One, they create more beneficial bacteria. Those are the probiotics. And two, they make the nutrients in the food way easier for your body to actually absorb. It's just a total win-win situation. So who's on this team from our visual guide? Well, you've got your creamy, tangy dairy options like kefir and yogurt. Then you've got the classic sauerkraut and its spicy cousin, kimchi. And of course, you can't forget about miso, that amazing savory paste, and tempeh, the super versatile plant-based protein. Every single one of them brings a unique flavor to the party and a huge dose of those good bacteria. Okay, let's move on to our second major crew, the fiber-fueled friends. Now, if fermented foods are the new soldiers you're sending in, these guys, they're the supply chain. They're the food for the good bacteria that are already living inside you. It's all about feeding that inner garden we talked about. The secret weapon here is something called prebiotic fiber. And this is where it gets really cool. Your body, you actually can't digest this stuff. But guess who can? Your good gut bacteria. For them, this is like an all-you-can-eat buffet. They love it. It's their absolute favorite food. And if you look at our guide, it's just packed with these prebiotic powerhouses. We're talking about stuff you probably already have, like garlic and onions. We've got delicious fruits, apples, bananas, blueberries, and awesome veggies like asparagus, leeks, and artichokes. I bet a bunch of these are sitting in your kitchen right now. But wait, the fiber party doesn't end there. We've also got some amazing seeds, nuts, and grains on the list. You could toss some chia seeds or flax seeds into a smoothie, grab a handful of almonds for a snack, or just make yourself a comfortable bowl of oats. Each one is such a simple, easy way to get that prebiotic fiber in. Okay, let's just take a quick pause and look at that big picture again. Now that we've talked about these two huge groups, just glance over the whole thing. How many of these are already part of your routine? You might be surprised. You're probably already doing a better job for your gut than you even realized. All right, let's get to our third and final group, the soothing supporters. Now, these are kind of like the peacemakers of the gut world. Their whole job is to calm things down and just support your entire digestive system. Yeah, their role is a little different from the other two groups. These foods are really known for their soothing, almost anti-inflammatory properties. The best way to think about them is like they're giving your digestive tract a nice, warm, comforting hug. And in our guide, we're highlighting two big players in this category. You've got bone broth, which is packed with things like collagen, and then you have ginger, which has been used for centuries to soothe upset stomachs. Just two simple but really powerful things you can add. So let's just boil everything we've talked about down to the two most important strategies. If you remember anything, remember this. On one side, you have the fermented foods, and their job is to add beneficial bacteria. On the other side, you have the fiber-rich foods, and their job is to feed the bacteria that are already there. Just think add and feed. That's it. It's that simple. Okay, now for my favorite part, how do we actually use all this information? Let's talk about how you can easily start building a more gut-friendly plate like tonight. Check this out. It's a super simple 3-step formula. Step 1, pick one of those fermented powerhouses. You know, a scoop of yogurt or a side of kimchi. Step 2, add just two of those fiber friends. Maybe some onions in your sauce or blueberries on your yogurt. And then step 3, if you want, garnish with a soothing supporter. A little bit of grated ginger maybe. See? It's so easy to do. And really, that's the whole idea right there. Just 3 easy categories to think about. This isn't about some stressful mission to create the perfect gut-healthy meal every single time. Not at all. It's just about making small, simple choices that, over time, really add up to a big difference. So that brings us to the final question, and it's for you. It always starts with just one small change. So, looking back at all these amazing, delicious foods we've talked about, what's one thing you're excited to try first?